Happy Sunday. Hold on. Cool. In the theme of holidays coming up and, hopefully everyone's going to have a chance to do some great cooking. We just put together a nice little menu here of some things that are near and dear to me. Very easy to do, gluten-free. My favorite food to cook and eat is grandmother's food. I mean, that's just what I do. Old school stuff, it's on the bone, it's big soups, it's big stews, not just at holiday time, but the things that to me are timeless. I set out to just do pretty much a traditional laki, but using gluten-free flour. You could ask any family, any grandmother, what's in their laki, and there's always going to be variations. There's no one way. We like to have a lot of fun, so I'm showing you a potato and parsnip laki. The other thing that goes into laki automatically would be some onion. What I'm looking to do here is just to sweat these out, what we call sweating out. So I'm not looking for a lot of color. I'm going to let these soften just a little bit more. I've got my onions in here, I've got egg. I'm going to season it with salt, pepper, and then you cook it in fat, what we call schmaltz, which is rendered chicken fat. So while this laki is cooking, and we're sort of swishing it out just to keep it nice and flat, and we're going to do it a little bit slower and lower, because that's going to allow it to brown evenly. This is a really neat fish. This is Scottish sea trout. It's, again, related to salmon, as you can tell by the color. Curing sounds a little weird, but what you're doing is the salt is, in essence, going to cook the food. And we would season both sides with salt and brown sugar. We make a neat little spice mix. As simple as just putting the spice mix on, wrapping it really well. Every 8 hours, keep on flipping it so that the gravity is taking into effect, because it's going to put a little bit more pressure into that brine. And then a piece of fish this size in 3 days, you pull it off, you wipe off the brine. If you wanted to smoke it, great, and if you're not familiar with smoking it, you have a beautifully cured piece of fish that you can then slice. And that fish is good for at least a week in the fridge. If you wanted to freeze it, it does quite well as well. Confit of chicken thighs, and we're going to serve it with some creamy French lentils. In the world of confit literally means melting. So in the world of cooking, it can mean a whole bunch of different things. But in this sense, what we're talking about is when you have a protein and it's been seasoned for a day or two, and it's, in essence, it's a light cure with salt and then some other aromatics. When I say aromatics, I'm talking about either spices or herbs or both, and we'll get to that in a second. And then you cook it in fat. So we're going to season, in this case, chicken, and it would be the same technique with any of the other meats that we talked about. What I'm now going to make is almost like a paste. So it's got parsley, thyme, some chopped up bay leaf, shallots, garlic, onion, and peppercorns. You could cook this after 1 day. I recommend 2. I just think the flavor is a little bit more interesting and nuanced. And just put this in the fridge, obviously covered. Then when you're done, I would just use your hand to wipe it all off. We've confit a bunch of chicken thighs, and we're going to serve it with some creamy French lentils. Open our lentils. I use homemade chicken stock. Literally, it all goes in a pot and liquid, probably like 2 inches above, and just really, really slow. Add some salt. We've actually taken about a cup of the lentils after they've been cooked, and we put them in the blender, and that's so make them very creamy. Olive oil chocolate mousse. If olive oil and chocolate sounds weird to you, I understand why it might. All I can tell you is it's terrific. So we use a double boiler, bowl on top of a pot with water that's simmering. So this is hot, but it's not as direct heat. So you would take your chocolate and put it in there, and that's how it'll melt into your creamy chocolateness. You're melting the chocolate, you're whipping the whites, you're mixing the yolks with the sugar, and then you basically gently put it all back together again, and you let it sit in a cup. It's super easy. to be able to cook something that makes your house smell fantastic, and that you look forward to all the time, like to me, that's what real cooking is all about.